Episode 35 uploaded, coming at you as we get closer to the weekend of action. It's a Tuesday. I usually take Tuesday off as far as wagering is concerned. We get back into it on Wednesday. We don't have a whole lot of time to mess around here today. We got a lot of stuff coming your way this week. In fact, the things that we were talking about yesterday have finally come to fruition. Talking about what's happening with the Virginia Derby. And we realize now that John Hancock is officially out of this race. He'll be pointed to another race, but the other horse is going to be very interesting with Flavien Prat. That is Rapture. That's a speed horse. But even with that horse in this race, it doesn't matter. Getaway Car gets the lead, gets away from this field, he's gone. Now the 1.125 distance, that might be an issue for him when he gets into the stretch, but I don't think anyone is faster than him. And this horse is really tough and really classy. And this will be the 5th different track that Getaway Car has run at. I think that's important too. Especially if he brings his race like we know he can. If he pops out of the gate on top and he's cruising along there, you know that's a really good sign. So I'm really thinking that Getaway Car is the horse they have to catch, and they won't catch it. Later on this week, I'll decide if I'm going to do a straight exacta Getaway Car with Omaha. I think that horse is going to love the distance, and I think that horse will do a great job making up ground in the stretch. But Getaway Car is gone unless they can find a way to get Rapture, Authentic Gallop, and Georgia Magic involved early on, and I don't think that they will. Okay, that's what's taking place Saturday. But before that, it's the Virginia Oaks. And we don't talk a whole lot about Oaks fillies, but it's time to start really focusing in as we have about a month and a half remaining before we get to that big weekend in May. So for the Oaks, we'll take a look at what's happening with the Virginia Oaks coming your way. And the thing about this race that I think is very interesting is you have this field of really talented fillies, 3-year-old fillies, a field of 8. You're probably going to have maybe a scratch, but I don't think it's going to matter. I really like the horse for Tom Amoss, Anonima. And I think that she'll be in the perfect spot. And I don't think the pace is really going to matter for her. I think she'll be right where she needs to be. I'm afraid of the filly to the inside, Icona Mama, because I don't know exactly what she wants to do. And that's why I'm afraid of her. And I know that she has a Hall of Fame rider who is going to make the right decision. Right? The question is, really, what does this runner want to do from that inside spot with Johnny V? Now, they're going to go 1.16 here in this race. And, of course, you get 50 points for the winner to qualify for the Kentucky Oaks. Top 14 point earners get into the gate. Thing about Icona Mama is that she's got some speed and she's stretching out. So I feel rather confident that John's going to try to engage early. Gowell's Delight, the 3. Also some speed there for Kenny McPeak, but what she has is route speed, and what the inside has is sprinter speed. Anonima is the 3-year-old daughter of Sharp Azteca, and she's got good stalking style, and she's got experience going a route of ground, and we'll see if she can get it done again going 1.16. Early on, that's another runner that's kind of a stalker, a pressing type, no early speed there. You'll be back. Another sprinter stretching out. That's the 6 in here. She's got a little speed for Tom Amoss. She might be the rabbit for the 4. And then there's Girl Math, who's a deep closer, who's been running on the synthetic last 2 times out. In fact, broke the maiden on the synthetic at Turfway Park. That's not easy to do. And then Fondly to the outside. Debuted going 7 furlongs and broke the maiden for Graham Motion. That's not easy to do either. Irad Ortiz Jr. in the irons there. So the question is really what happens with the pace. And I really think John to the inside is going to try to just get out of there and get some separation from the field and force them all into chase mode. All right, that makes sense to me for sure. Okay, so we're talking about the concept of the first or top 14 earners of points getting into the gate for the Oaks. Let's take a look at how they look right now. Quiet Side is number 1 on the list with 68 points, Lacara, then the Queen's MG, and then you'll get into names that we know, right? Drexel Hill, Queen Azteca, Maysam for Bob Baffert at 50 points there. Good Cheer is a really nice runner with Luis Saez in the irons. Really, really interesting list of runners. And then you get to the second half and you get to runners we also are familiar with, including your Breeders' Cup champion, Immersive, Tenma, 5G. Muhima is really, really fast. Super Speed. And then we get to the 14, Amarth, with 25 points. So anyway, the winner, top 2 finishers in this race automatically jump into contention, and they make themselves eligible for the Kentucky Oaks. So that's how it looks with the point earners right now. And we'll, talk more about this list for the fillies, getting ready for the Oaks as we get closer to that Friday in May. That's a long way off. We got to find a way to work through this week, right? So we're going to focus on 3 tracks this week. We think they'll provide the best value, bang for your buck, ROI. Turfway Park is always number 1 on the list when it comes to that. Always. Even as frustrating as it is, you got to play because it just takes one. You hit one time, changes everything. And then you have to kind of get ready for Colonial Downs. You don't want to go into any particular big weekend without kind of understanding if there's a track bias, how the track plays in general, right? And then you got Oaklawn Park. We think is going to be a nice card coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Don't forget, in order to get ready, you need your 5 R's, right? You need to do your research. You need to use your resources that are available, right? You also have to check for rain. Then you have to restrict yourself to a certain dollar amount or certain types of wagers, and then you have to reward yourself when you hit. That means you cash out, take some of your money, and then increase your bets. That's how you reward yourself. So those 5 R's are super important. Make sure you tend to those before you get down to business. Whether it's today, I'm taking Tuesday off, or whether it's Wednesday, I'll be back at it with Turfway Park, and then we'll obviously all be together now this weekend. All right. That's going to do it for this episode of Horse Race Bets. In the meantime, in between time, and until next time, I'm Ken Rudolph, and I will see you then. Good luck and enjoy whatever you are into.